This is Game 3 between Team Canada and the Rooster trees. Knights spawning as the purple pieces in the bottom left-hand corner of Steps of War, and Thatfeel spawning as the yellow Protoss at the top right-hand corner. He is on Team Canada, and this Reddit Team League is brought to you by the Internet Movie Firearms Database, imfdb.org. Check them out. They have all sorts of fun facts and trivia and information on firearms in TV, movies, all that kind of stuff. PvP, how do you feel about this matchup, SeaGnome?
Well, PvP, it's usually, I think it's my favorite mirror to watch because in TVT, a lot of it gets boring pretty quickly. I think that's changing a little bit now, but yeah, I still have that opinion of TVT. And in ZVZ, it's extremely stressful, and I've talked about that a little bit before. But yeah, PvP, definitely my favorite mirror match. On Steps of War, I usually see like super early pressure. Like I can't think of a game that was PvP on Steps that wasn't forgate into maybe something later on if both players live that long.
Yeah, I found for the most part that Protoss versus Protoss is staying alive with gateway units until you can get a Colossus out. Thatfeel getting gas, followed shortly by Knights, so everything is quite normal so far. Both players are now scouting. Yeah, both players doing a really good job of scouting inside their own bases, making sure they're not being proxied. I, of course, as a paranoid player, strongly approve of scouting inside your own base all the time.
Yeah, so, I'm not too sure. Steps, PvP, it's... we'll see what they go for. I do kind of want to see four-gate pressure coming from at least one of the players. I'm pretty sure that something like that should be happening. Or I'll look really stupid, and then I'll just delete this video and say that I got corrupted on YouTube.
That's definitely possible. Both players have their cybernetics core up. Knight's getting a little bit of an earlier second gateway. Thatfield's getting a third pylon. If he goes for gas, then that might be a build I've been hearing about recently, where you, get gas for a third pylon. Nisus is getting his tech up a little bit faster. We see a slight reflection in the income tab. Thatfield's ahead by a couple harvesters. Not a huge amount, but could make a difference. He's got a second gateway now coming up.
Yeah, harvester discrepancy is kind of a big deal in mirror matches. Not so much on this level, but once you get up there, higher diamond, even GSL levels, then it will become big. But on these, on this scale, it's probably kind of irrelevant. Well, not irrelevant, but much less useful.
Both players are chrono boosting their warp tick research. That feels a little bit ahead, putting on a third gateway now. Knight, not sure what he'll choose to do. At this point, you'll either see them committing to more gateways, or you'll see a robotics bay, or a robotics facility rather. And it looks like Thatfeel is going for 4 gates. So he has chosen his tech path, and SeaGnome, you are completely correct. And a robotics facility. Fancy that. I am also correct. We are correct together. Now Knight's pushing out with a few stalkers. Thatfeel has a stalker, one stalker, one zealot, 2 stalkers, so should be able to fend this off fairly handily.
Yeah, and looks like Knight, well, he was retreating because he's just going to try and kite this single zealot with his remaining stalker, and Thatfeel not really doing much about it. Okay, just gonna retreat, I guess.
Yep, that zealot will stay alive, and he's gonna be able to hang out with the rest of his buddies. Nice timing on that 4th gateway. He's gonna come out just as warp tech finishes. Yeah, just 2 gateways, a third being thrown down for Knights, and an observer coming out first for Knights. Not looking good. That feels putting on a lot of pressure here. And Knights just won't have enough to respond here. An engagement going on in the middle. Thatfield just having more units. I don't see a probe coming out.
There's a probe in with Thatfield's army. It's going out now.
See? Okay, so putting a pylon down there. I actually don't see a pylon being put there all that often.
I don't think it's a particularly good spot. I think just a little bit to the northwest would be a little bit better because he could be able to warp in his opponent's natural, but that pylon positioning just seems a little bit awkward to me.
Yeah, he's got to walk around this huge cliff by the natural. An Immortal now coming out for Knights, and with a few sentries, he should be able to hold off this push. One unit producing cycle, or one warp gate cycle for Knights. By the time I figure out saying words, what happened is already irrelevant. What I was trying to say was Thatfield warped in a cycle of units, and is now containing Knights, and he's getting his expansion up. So looks like Knights actually might be moving out now to confront that field. Big battle going down. Force fields, guardian shields. This one Immortal doing quite a bit of damage to do extra against armored. It's going to get focus fired here, and it is going to be taken out now. And Knights simply does not have enough forces to hold this off. There's no sentry in sight. Oldar has a whole bunch of stalkers, and Thatfield warping more reinforcements, streaming them in. Knights now in a precarious position. I'm not sure what he's going to do about this.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, you just looking around his base, there's no Robobay. Wasn't even trying to go for Colossus, so he got the robo facility up, but he got the single Immortal and the Observer, but that's just not enough to hold off the 4-gate pressure.
No, and Knights has a lot of money. Of course, you really can't sink all that money in Zealots. They do get nullified by having all those stalkers. Chrono boosting all those warp gates, and just trying to kite these Zealots, trying to stay alive, pulling probes now to try to surround and successfully surrounds that stalker.
Yeah, but it's too little too late at this point. He's lost so much.
Yeah, Thatfield is ahead. Thatfield is sending in more stalkers, and he's got his expansion up and running. He's way ahead in units, and even bringing in a probe to attack one of the warp gates.
Yeah, so the game's well decided by now. This was game 3?
This was game 3.
Okay, so do you remember the score for your team?
Yep, it's 2-2, and then there was an ace match, and I don't want to cast it.
I think we have to, though, being the ace match. And I believe that was you playing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you having to go during, last week's cast of the RTL?
We were casting round 1, and I'm like, oh, gotta go play round 3, and Knight's calling good game here.
Alright, there we go.